CVA's Accura Series, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment's being brought to you by 3rd Regiment Game Calls, friends, family, and faith in the outdoors. One call at a time. All right, everybody, it's time for this week's Pictures of the Week. They're being brought to you by Flowers Garden Center and Deer Processing. They want to let you guys know that they'll be open with the regular archery season coming up at the end of September. From there on, y'all can go in there and let them take care of all your processing needs. And be sure when you stop in there that you tell them thank you for supporting Southern Woods and Waters. All right, Anthony, we got a good mix this week. Now, we got some turkeys. We got all kind of stuff come in this week. This is Rick Taylor and his daughter, Briley, and this is on this past spring's youth hunt. And that is an awesome picture.
Yeah, it is.
Great job on that picture, guys. That's a really good one. Congratulations to Briley on that kill. Our next picture here, you were just talking about duck hunting a while ago on the break. This is Kyson Brown and a buddy of his, and this was a hunt that they were on this past season in Arkansas. So a lot of our guys go down to Arkansas and hunt, and looks like they had a pretty good day down there.
Arkansas will spoil you.
That's what I hear.
I'm telling you.
I hadn't got down there yet, but I might not need to. All right, our next picture here, this is Nevaeh Myers, and this is my buddy Mike Myers' daughter. I do some rabbit hunting with Mike, and this is her first ever turkey this past season. This was on the youth hunt, and she got this bird right off the roost. So
and it looked like
congratulations on that. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she got a couple more this year. So she had a real good first season. And here on the end, we got some doves. This picture is sent in by Alonzo Alvarez, and this is a picture of his son Isaac, and it's from last year's dove season. And you know, guys, these pictures that are in here tonight, several of these came from our contest giveaway for this year's dove hunt. So guys, maybe you'll be the one that gets drawn here later on, and you'll be able to go with us this year. But congratulations on that one. Nothing like getting out in the dove field, the camaraderie and sportsmanship you see out there. Y'all can send your photos to us here at 474 James Robertson Parkway, or get them to us on Facebook or at the email address on the screen there. We'll get them on the show just as soon as we can. All right, welcome back to the studio. Anthony, just to kind of set up the next thing we're going to do, we're about to go and do a in the field segment. We've been trying to do some deer prep videos the last 4 or 5 weeks, and we've covered a lot of different scenarios. But what we're going to be talking about in this next video, you're going to be talking about how you set up a partition, or you know, I guess I'll call it a partition.
And that's really what it is.
You know, a way to enter and exit out of your stand without being seen. You know, last year I did a video where I've got a blind where I walk down a dry creek bank and I walk up the creek bank into the field.
I remember that.
But you found a way to do it on flat ground, you know, where the entranceway is there, and it's worked for you.
That was the only thing I could do. This one place, 55 acres, I only hunt one deer house. And the way the land's laid out, and you can see, I started out with a ladder stand up in a tree, and you know, I would see so many deer, but I'm pretty picky. You know, I mean, in 28 years, we've killed 12 deer out of that field. Let hundreds walk. And 8 of them's wall hangers, and kids kill 4 of them. But a lot of times I would get busted the last 75 yards. And it was a real deep holler on this one side and a creek. And then everywhere else was bedding area. And the way the property lines was, if I walked any other way in, I was just ruining my hunt. So one day I was going up through there, and it was a nice mature buck that was out there. He was bedded down in lockdown with a doe. I was going up there, and it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then she busted me. He didn't, because he laid there for another 3 or 4 minutes after she got off. But he wasn't one I was wanting to shoot. And so that's why I thought,
you decided you'd had enough of that.
That's when I thought, you know, if I just had me a wall up there, I could get all the way up through here. And you see what I done, and I'm going to tell you, it has paid off.
Well, let's go on over to the video and see how it is that Anthony sets up this shooting house.
Talk to you about what all I've been doing. I showed y'all a while ago I was walking up an old log road And this is one of my favorite stands to hunt right here. If you follow me on Facebook or on any of the hunt pages you see, I have made hundreds of videos from this deer house right here. Turkeys and also deer. But over the years, I bought this place in 1992. It was 28 years ago. And this was an old house place right here behind me in this field back during the Civil War. And it burnt for the last time in 1939. But I brought a dozer up here and kind of cleaned off a little bit of it. And it's about 1.1 acres right now. But I noticed every time I was slipping up through here, I've got an old ladder stand right here. But it was 2 or 3 wall hangers killed out of there. And then I built this thing. The only problem is when getting up through here, I would get busted all the time. It's bedding areas on both sides. This side, the left side of it right here, goes down to a big body of water. The right side is a big thick pine thicket right here. And I can't come into it from any other way, really 2 reasons, is other property owners. But if I come in from the other way, then I'm messing up anything I'm going to hunt. So I slip up this old log road right here, but a lot of times I would get busted because it would be deer and turkeys already out in the field. And there wasn't no way, this is a big deep hollow right here, you couldn't come down through there. And then I hate walking in the woods, it's so quiet. So what I do is I bring my mower up here, and a lot of people may laugh at that, but I'll mulch all these leaves on this old log road just enough, one mower wide, where I can slip up through here without them crunching in the leaves. And then I decided, you know, I'm going to build this wall right here. So this is a 25-foot wall, and I got burlap on it, camouflage netting, and then I cut a load of brush this morning. And that's the other thing. If you cut oak limbs right now, when the leaves are green, they'll stay on them all winter. Now, if you wait till the fall and cut them, they're going to fall off. You really can't use them for that, or you're wasting your time. So I cut them, and then I put them up here like that. And that way they'll stay, from green, then they'll go to brown, but the key is they'll stay on there all year. So I've brushed this whole thing in. Now I'm able to slip up through this road right here, ease right in here, and I can't tell y'all how many times I've crawled in there and sat down, and it be turkeys, bucks, does, and a lot of times they'll both be bedded right out in the field, sometimes less than 10 yards from me. And they never even know when I ease up this road, because I pretty much still hunt up this road the last 100 yards because they love this food plot right here. And I hadn't planted it yet, I just sprayed it yesterday. This blind right here, some of y'all may remember, several years ago, I was getting pictures of a deer called a knothead. I posted many videos of him. He had a real big knot right on his head, looked like you took a softball and cut it in half and stuck it right on his head. And my cousin, Janet Murphy, she lives right across from me. She come up here one afternoon. I told her that I'd been seeing him up here, and it was 5 other bucks out that came out in the field, and right before dark he came out and she shot him with a muzzle loader. I sent his teeth off to a lab. He come back. He was 8.5 years old. I knew he was at least 6.5, but he came back 8.5 years old. I killed another deer y'all may remember out here that he had 17 points, but only 13 of them turned out to be scoreable. I killed him out of here too. But it's been some good deer killed out of here. It's been 8 wall hangers killed in this field, and juveniles have killed 4 more. And I told y'all earlier, it's where I got a good picture of a bobcat that had killed a deer and was dragging it across the road. That's 40 yards right here behind us. But, you know, I'm just thinking out of the box. You know, a lot of times if you got a good place, getting to that place is half the battle right there. Well, once I put this wall up, I'm going to tell you, that won the battle for me, because I just don't get busted no more slipping up through here. So, you know, if you got an opportunity, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, you know, that's fine. But it does work for me, and if you watch all my videos, you can tell, because I've seen as many as, I think, 18 bucks in this field one afternoon. That's the most I ever seen at one time, bucks in here. And that was during the rut, and probably 14 of them was chasing does big time one afternoon. So, but like I say, if you think something like this might work and you're not sure how to do it, I've got metal T-posts in the ground right here, and I got about 4 of them.
and I got some wire going across it, and then I just build it. Basically, it's just like brushing a duck blind. I don't know if you can see from the front of it. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a duck blind right here, but and I still have deer that walk around because I got an opening right here. I drive my tractor around through there, and the deer, they walk that just like they always did. You know, it don't affect them or anything. So, but I try to stay out here except when it comes to hunt, and I love it. It's one of my favorite places. But just think about little things like that, and you'd be surprised at what it could do, you know, with your ability to see deer. So hope y'all enjoy this. If you got any questions, just leave us a message on Facebook, and thank y'all for tuning in to Southern Woods and Water. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Some good advice there, buddy. It's getting in and out of those stands undetected, I think is just as important or more important than the actual location of the stand. If there's a spot where I think is a better spot to hang it, but I know down here I can access the stand easier or without being seen, then you know we're going to go down here and set it up. You know, I'll use tree lines, ditch lines, creeks, anything I can to make a quickest, easiest cut through to get to that blind. You know, I've got one where I park on one side of a tree line, and then we walk up just a little ways and we cut through the tree line, and a little logging road and come right in the back of the shooting house here that's overlooking a big bedding area. It was on a video a few weeks ago, and as kind of like you said, there's no telling how many times I've eased down that logging road, and there's been deer once I got up in the blind that was out there in that field that if I would have come around to the front face of that stand or come right at it, they'd have been gone, and I probably would have never known they were there. You know, so that's a really good tip to anybody as far as putting your stands up, or is to find a way to conceal yourself getting out of it. So
I'd tell you another thing is this field is about 450 yards off a 4-lane highway. Well, during the week, Monday through Friday, all the gravel trucks, of course, you know, being here you might not know it, but you have to go to Savannah in West Tennessee just about to get gravel. So there's so many of those big trucks on there. Well, I can time my walking up through there with them trucks. That's right. But every now and then, if it's just perfectly still, I have to stop. And sometimes I may only be 10 feet from the door, but I have to wait on another truck because I don't want, because I know sometimes it's already something out there. And so I just have to sit there and wait. And the way the wind's blowing most of the time, that's a good stand I can get in. And I can get in there undetected so many times, unreal.
That's the way to do it. Well, guys, let's go on over and do this week's product of the week. This week's product of the week is being sponsored by Caney Fork Outdoors. You guys can find them at cfoutdoors.com or get off at the Center Hill Dam exit and go down to the bottom of the hill, turn towards the dam. You'll find them at the Big Rock Market there, and they have got a huge line of supplies that they can get you outfitted and on the water in all sorts of kayaks, accessories. Y'all can go in there and get your belly full while you're there as well. So be sure to tell them thank you for all they do for us here at the show. All right, guys, our product tonight's a little bit different. The reason and I'll tell you why I want to show these here in just a minute, but these are the hats from Tennessee Deer Hunters, which is a Facebook group that Anthony and I are both admins on, but our buddy Wes Stone started this group several years ago, and it's by far the best Facebook group page that I know of.
I think it's the largest individual state one it is.
You know, it may be, but the reason I want to talk about these hats tonight, Wes has got these for sale right now, and you can get on the Tennessee Deer Hunters page and reach out to Wes, or you can just message Wes, either one, to buy one of these. But the reason I want to mention them tonight is because Wes is doing something special right now with all the proceeds from these hats. They're going to help out a fellow hunter and outdoorsman that I've actually had some personal dealings with. His name is Jason Bowers, and Wes is going to be taking the proceeds from these and donating those and helping Jason out through some things that he's got going medically wise. So guys, if you want a sharp looking hat, and these are two of the models he's got, there's a couple of other options, reach out to Wes and get one of these hats over at Tennessee Deer Hunters, and check one of those out. Get you a couple of them if you want, and that way you'll have some you can wear each day of the week. You can swap them around like we do. We've always got a different hat on, it seems like. But anyhow, reach out to Wes Stone, Tennessee Deer Hunters, get your hands on one of those hats, and right now it's going to go to a really good cause. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.